What's going on out there, YouTube? It's SEL030 representing JVS. Number 5 in the Infinity War Challenge, we have Captain America, the First Avenger. Over time, you know what? I actually like this more now than I did before. A lot of times I was like, think back to First Avenger, like, you know, I don't know how this was. But when I think about this movie and I make it a comparison to something like Wonder Woman, there's a lot more action and different things that I didn't take note of, and so many different Easter eggs that play into the mythology when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think that Chris Evans legit proved himself to be every bit of Captain America that you could even ask for. Even when they did like the low grade like CG and making him look really small, really thin, they did a really good job with CG and the visual effects for that. And he played the role very well. I think his chemistry between him and Stanley Tucci, I forgot Stanley Tucci's name. I think his name was Abraham, Dr. Abraham. I thought that that was really key. One of the interesting remarks that I wrote in my notes somewhere, hopefully I'll put it down. He said, "A weak man knows the value of strength and compassion." That's one of the assets in actually being able to be the soldier that he really wanted to come out of the serum and whatnot. And I think that even having Dominic Cooper as a young Howard Stark, he definitely exhibited all the different mannerisms of a young Tony Stark, and you can get and see where he comes from. Peggy Carter, who ends up having her own show, a lot of people didn't even see that. I think that Haley Atwell did a really good job in her role for that, but who was the standout for me was definitely Hugo Weaving. Hugo did such a great job as that character. I really wanted him to come back, and I know for a fact they could easily bring him back, but Hugo didn't want to come back into this role for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why, but with the Tesseract, I think it really transported him instead of disintegrating him. But they left it just plain as is. So I'm not sure if they're going to revisit that. Hopefully there's something in Infinity War they readdress. That'd be really dope. But it was a really interesting arc on the MCU. I think they did a really good job. Actually, I watched it with my wife. This is her very first time watching. I think she enjoyed it for the most part. And I think and I think you could take anybody and watch this first before any of the other MCU stuff and be like, wow, what is this Avengers? Because at the very end credit, you get the understanding of, wow, this is the next step of bringing all these heroes together. And this is where I think they really got their jump start. Because if they never had made this and it came off of Thor and then went to Avengers, it wouldn't have had as much esteem. I think they did a really good job in placing this one right at the middle mark. As well as they have a lot of good actors in this one. Samuel Jackson does make an appearance at the very end of the movie, but one of the things that I like, even now, thinking back to Winter Soldier, is the relationship between Sebastian Stan's Bucky and Captain America with Chris Evans. They definitely have great camaraderie, great connection, and it's like you see these different foundational things. Like Bucky sacrificed himself using the Captain America shield. If that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is. At the same exact time, the attire that he was actually wearing when that happens is the same exact attire you're gonna see him in Infinity War, which is really dope. What else? What else? So I'm talking about all the things I really liked. Now, these are the things I didn't like about this film. I think it undercuts it. I'm not gonna take this film under a 9. I'm going to give it between an 8.5 and a 9 out of 10, period. But the negatives that I really have are when the government decided to use him as their missional money guinea pig. That scene drew out way too long, to me personally. I think that they could have made like a small semblance of a scene and just been done with it. And they could have showed like the ramifications of war and what everybody else's perception of it. Instead, they went through all this draw and these girls dancing with Steve, and Steve going into these different mannerisms and all this kind of stuff of like portraying like, oh, I'm gonna do this for you. And then when he gets to the soldiers, it's just kind of like it lost its flair. Because I was like, if I was a soldier, I would have threw a tomato at him anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they could have went and counterbalanced that a lot better and not drew that out too long, because by the time he got to his Howling Commandos and they started going on their actual mission, I was like, they spent more time working with doing this skit or whatever, this play that he was taking across on tour, than when he was actually going on the mission field. Like when they actually had him doing the mission stuff like that, I was like, they just rushed through that. And I was like, why rush through the action beats instead of the stuff that didn't mean anything? You know what I'm saying? I think that was a missed opportunity. I would have taken when he finally goes with his team out and they start going and blazing. Because that was one of the things when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh snap, we're going to see the real Howling Commandos go in hard. And they showed different moments of them doing cool things. And I didn't pick up on certain things the first time I watched it. Now watching it, I didn't. But I feel like it was a missed opportunity. And so I think that they just wasted certain times with certain things. I think they did a really good job with the relationship part of things. But I don't know. I think that they could have took that out, removed it, and then made this a movie probably 10 times better, in my personal opinion, especially with the action beats added to it. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the rating I had. Please go down to the description box below. Check us out on Stardust. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in a 30-second reaction. When you click on the link, go to the middle section. It'll allow you to be able to pick this movie. When you record it, make sure you tag us at JVS. All right? Keep it locked. JVS ain't gonna stop. The next one, Avengers 1.
Avengers 1.
Peace, guys.